Are you ready?
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's your host, Andres Salazar here, comic book aficionado, creator, writer, artist, all that jazz. Sometimes we commit sins. We commit errors. I'm going to confess one to you. Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai. I've never read this. Yeah, I was next to him in Long Beach Comic-Con a couple years ago. Met him, great guy. His wife was around, so his wife just passed away a couple years ago. His wife was there, he was there, wonderful. Everyone loved him, huge lines. Everyone loves Usagi Yojimbo. I even have a sketch of his he gave me. Wonderful man. But I've never read the book. It was covered by Dark Horse, by Fantagraphics. Everyone's published this, mostly black and white, but I think there's even colorized pages. But I've never read this. So I was at a swap meet just a month ago. And some guy at the swap meet had these 3 books, $1 each for these trades. Book 1, book I don't know what, and book 5. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll buy these for $1 each. Heck, what the heck, dude? This is called The Score. This is what you want to find. You don't want to go on eBay and have to pay $15 for something. No. You want to find at a swap meet, a damn thrift store, swap meet, some books. Now, it's beat to all heck, but you know what? I'm a reader. I'm not a collector. I do have some things, but I don't collect it. You guys clearly. I read, I tear it up, I rip it up, I analyze it, I enjoy it. It's what I love. It's the story. So, I finally got these. I've read these. I haven't finished all of them, but I thought I've read enough to kind of like talk about it. And I'll have to say, as a fan of Lone Wolf and Cub, and as a fan of samurai and Edo period and all that kind of stuff, this is great. This is like anthropomorphized animals doing those kind of stories that you like. So the samurai story, and it's done very straight. It's not like kidsy, jokey at all. He's doing it straight. It's very much like a straight up like manga samurai story, but done with animals. Like the animals aren't like furry, goofy stuff. It's pretty straight, and I dig it. I dig it. Now I don't really know much about his past yet. It's just him, the lone, Ronin, guy. But it's really good. Why don't we turn the camera around and show you some of this stuff? Because if you haven't read Usagi Yojimbo, I'm going to say right now, don't be a sinner like me. Confess your sins. Comment, confess your sins. Confess them. And then go and find these. Find a cheap trade. You know what a good place? Go to Thrift Books. I go to thriftbooks.com. They're not a sponsor. I'm not getting nothing out of them. There's no click there. But go to Thrift Books and type in Usagi Yojimbo. You probably will find it cheap. Dude, that's a great spot for light comics. Okay, let's turn the camera over and check it out because this is actually very good. Let's do it. Okay, guys, let's talk some Usagi Yojimbo from Stan Sakai. Eisner Award winner, may I say. Okay, so this is a Dark Horse version of a trade. This is some Fantagraphics, and there's another Fantagraphics. So here, let's start with 1, because I actually did find that there is a little bit of change in the art, which I thought was really kind of interesting. I don't know why this horse reminds me of the way Frank Miller does horses, when you saw some of those. Okay. That's a great little picture, dude. So, I don't know the story of how he got this published. He might have even self-published this for a little bit. I'm not sure. He definitely started out like doing old school. Look at that. Isn't that great? This definitely has that Seven Samurai kind of imagery to it. I mean, he must have studied all that stuff. He was a fan of Kurosawa, Of course, he loves Lone Wolf and Cub, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I just want to talk about this page. This is the first page. This is page 1 the whole freaking thing. We can just spend time on this. 1984. So 84. This is the time of Sienkiewicz is doing New Mutants. This is right before Dark Knight Returns. Alan Moore's doing Swamp Thing. You know, that's what's going on. And look at this. Now, what I want to bring your attention to is the different mark making kind of like line work he's doing. He's doing some great, beautiful brush work here, right? That line weight change, great contrast. The black Usagi Yojimbo. Actually, that's a great just logo there, right? And then these nice little like marks there showing kind of the atmospheric perspective, you know, going back. All this nice little tree here with the shading and the kind of hatching there with the shading. Just really cool stuff. I dig this a lot. I thought this was like, if you go to somebody with a project and you go, boom, here's your first page, you'd be like, oh, wow, look at what's going on here. There's a lot of neat, you know, marks here, different things being used. I thought this is just like a really cool like image to start us off. And, you know, look at this. Heavy, heavy detail work. A lot of stuff going on here. Telling this tale, right? Very simple character design, but like really cool. He also uses these, I don't think it's screen tone. I could be wrong. It could actually be screen tone, or it could be just him doing kind of a stippling, pointillism, you know, tone on his robe, clothing, and the rain drops here, and all these animals, kind of like the layers of them in combat. This is a very complicated panel to do. So right off the bat, he's just like, bam, bam, bam. I mean, he's showing he can draw, right? He's really going to town on this right off the bat. And the stories are basically, there's these short little stories, just like Lone Wolf and Cub, short little manga-sized, you know, 8-page, 12-page little stories. He goes into a town, he helps, you know, the peasant with something, a debt he owes, or some kind of a crime has been committed, and he uses, you know, samurai justice and honor and wisdom to ferret out the bad guys. And, you know, it's really, really kind of cool. I actually dug it a lot. This is like an 8-page story there. Lone Rabbit and Child. So yeah, there's a lot of play on that kind of like thing. I love the line work. Really nice line work. So nice brush. And then he moves into kind of a croak quill, kind of for this kind of distant stuff and little textures. Again, these layouts, very much like the manga. But maybe we should grab that just for a second. Let me just grab it since I have it here. I'm just curious. So I have volume 1 of this big omnibus. You know, and this stuff is like epic. You can kind of see, I was just thinking of this here. I was thinking about how, you know, this reminds me of like of some sort of a composition that we've seen here. But if you look at this for a while and we spend some time looking at this, we'll see some of that in here, I bet. I'm guessing. So here's another story, you know, where there's a betrayal and such. But I dig this a lot. Now, and then what's interesting too, as I'm reading that there are these little dinosaur characters that are like, they're dogs and cats, these little dinosaur things, but they're actually really cute and kind of interesting. So there's these lizard dinosaur things that are kind of fascinating. These ninjas, little panda ninjas. Freaking cool, man. Or cat. They're cats, not pandas. Look at that. And he'll throw in the blood. He'll throw in that, like... So it's real. It's not like I said, he's doing it straight. So, oh man, this is getting ripped up. Okay, so that's that. Now let's jump over to 5, right? And just jump over to like a little more modern. So that was 84. What is this? This is 89. Well, it says 2008, 89, 2008. So we'll say 89. So 4 years later, look how the art's different. Now he's changed some things. I feel like he's not using the brush as much now. He's using more of a repeatograph or a dead weighted line with no variation in weight. Still beautiful like patterns here, but the art, the tools has changed. I think the rendering's the same level of detail. You still have a lot of lines here. You still have a lot of like texture. But now it feels like it's only the same pen. It's just, he's using one pen or maybe 2 pens, a thick one and a little thinner one. But it's like tech pens now. Repeatographs, things like that, microns. This would be before microns, so it would be repeatographs. And here, the story is he's trying to get this sword. He was commissioned to go get the sword of a noble samurai back to his wife, but that noble samurai had an affair with a peasant. And the peasant has the sword. So does it belong to the lawful wife, or does it belong to his true love, the peasant girl, the swords? And stuff happens. You could use things like that. Yeah, so the art changes a bit, and I'm not sure if I like this more. This is kind of fun. This is another story. Let me share this with you. This is a kite story, right? Talks about building kites, but he breaks this down. He does research on how people made kites back in the Edo period, and he talks about getting the bamboo, and you have to get it at a certain time of year so that they're strong but not too brittle, and then how they soak them in this kind of a soda bath, and they dry them, and they cut them, and they make the paper, and he goes into all the details of like how you make paper and how you paste it and you dry it on sheets and everything. Just really kind of cool to see, the process, and someone's like researching and learning how they did things anciently. I thought it was really kind of fun. I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, going back to the art for a moment, I like this. The problem is I really like the brush crow quill stuff here. I would say this is just personal, right? By the way, this is a great image. I just like popped into this. There's just these great images. He does. It's really well done. So I just like the line work of this more. I find this more expressive or more interesting than this stuff here that's like flat. When I say flat, I mean dead lined. That's me though, right? I mean, I'm just saying that. So there is a little bit of a shift in art design. What is this one? Let me see what year this is. This is 98. Hang on, that can't be right. Oh, maybe it's a little confusing. I'm not sure on this one. When this is Dark Horse though, so the numbering of course is very different. Yeah, this is kind of the newer style too. Yep. So anyway, that's Usagi Yojimbo. I think this is fascinating. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna finish reading these. If you haven't read this one, go check out my video. I did a video of the first part of this. I need to do more because this is so freaking good. I love this story. But yeah, that's Usagi Yojimbo. Thanks all for watching. Subscribe. Check out my Patreon to see my books and see what I do. Do I have any salt in me? And you can be the judge. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.